So today we had our launch visit, July 24, at the Southern California Food Allergy Institute. So what they basically did was, prior to this visit, they actually took some blood work, they did some scratch tests on the kids' backs, and they compiled all that data in order to prepare for the launch visit for today. So we'll actually find out how long they'll be in the program, and we'll find out a little bit more about what foods they're sensitized to, what they're tolerating, and what they're actually anaphylactic to. The check-in process was a breeze. You can do it all on your phone. They basically have you fill out some forms, consent, and all that, and basically electronically sign to get started. As soon as they're ready for you, they tell you that, come on in, and basically your wait time inside is really not that long. While in the waiting area, the kids really have some fun things to do. They had some cool backgrounds that they can take pictures of, and they also have some little things that they can do to keep them busy and preoccupied while waiting for your appointment. We probably spent about 10 minutes in the waiting area as soon as we let them know that we were there. And essentially they called us in and we got ushered in to get started with the patch testing. So what they're doing is basically they prepared some patches that they were going to place on their back. And basically they're supposed to keep them on their back for 24 hours. So don't get it wet. No activities for the kids so that they don't sweat. No bath over the period of 24 hours until they remove the patch. So day one of the launch visit was the patch placement. It actually didn't take very long. We were in there for probably a good 5 minutes per kid, and off we went on our merry way until the next 24 hours. So after our visit to the clinic, we decided to go out to eat. And so we were watching them. We had different scenario kits. We had our medication ready, and we had different steps that we could follow if we were to experience any type of allergic reaction. And actually, an hour into it, my daughter did say she was itchy, and she actually complained that her stomach started to hurt. And so we were not very far from the clinic. We actually called a tip helpline to let them know that she was experiencing some stomach ache, and we were advised to give her Benadryl per her scenario kit. And so we did that. Within a few minutes, she was starting to feel better, and so her stomach pains went away, and we just continued to watch her to make sure it didn't develop into anything. And so fortunately, after that, she didn't have any more events. They were very responsive. They told us exactly what we needed to do, and they followed up quite a bit through the process to make sure that we were doing okay. So we survived day one of the patch placement. Day two basically was just waiting for the appointment to arrive so that they can remove the patch off their back. And so we just waited. So July 25 was day two of the launch visit. And that was when the doctor actually came in, and they would spend the time to explain the results and what you were in for as far as program length and what your kids are actually allergic to. And so that visit actually took longer just because you were getting inducted into the program, and they would take the time to explain to you what everything meant. So July 25, we arrived at the clinic, and basically expect about 2 to 2.5 hours. We had 2 kids in the program, so we were in by 1. We were out by around 3 o'clock. Yeah, so the kids basically, they removed the patch from their back, and they give it 10 minutes to measure how big of a bump they were seeing. And with that, they report some numbers of what it's looking like, so they know what to challenge that day. So they did start challenging them with foods that they can actually tolerate. So not their allergic foods yet. With that, we spent some time with the doctor to go over each kid to figure out what our daily routine was supposed to look like, what foods we were supposed to provide them, what we needed to prepare and such. and how often we needed to give it to them. So it was quite a long process of going through that and really just trying to wrap our head around what our day is going to look like moving forward. Is quite overwhelming, to be honest, but it's also very exciting to know that we're working towards a solution. During day two's visit, they actually also fed them some foods that they were tolerating. And so after feeding them those foods, they actually make them exercise. And so thus they make them jump around the trampoline to see if they're going to have any reaction of any sort while they were eating the foods that they believe they should be tolerating and are sensitized to. So the foods that they actually gave them at the clinic, they become part of their daily maintenance until our next visit. And so we have to feed them that food every day. So after that, expect that the kids are going to be pretty itchy. And so some Benadryl cream helped. And, if they really needed it, we gave them some more Benadryl orally as advised by the doctor. And so we just continued to watch them. The kids, they didn't recommend them getting wet. So no bath time yet, just because we were concerned that, the skin would welt or get worse as it dries up. So a deferred bath time for another day, and that was day 2. Yeah, the kids started to complain that they were still itchy even after the Benadryl cream and the oral Benadryl, but we survived it, fortunately. We tried to just soothe them by kind of just rubbing on their back, not really scratching it so we don't break the skin. And, if they really needed it, ice packs would really, really help. This was obviously after their patch was removed, so we don't mess with the integrity of the results of the test. So yeah, we're crossing our fingers. This is going to be visit 3 with actual foods that were challenging. So wish us luck in the next few weeks, next few months, to see how we're going to do with dosing their maintenance foods and going forward with the program. So basically, after this visit, our next visit is going to be another 2 days. We are local. We moved to California for this program. And so it's another 2 days of food challenges. And in the paper that they send you, they tell you exactly what they're going to challenge. They tell you exactly what to bring for the next visit. That way you can have those foods ready for the next visit. So we'll see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe to follow our food freedom journey.